All right. We are here live listening to some 80s music. Thanks for joining me in this another impromptu live stream. Got a little bit of a setup, nothing too fancy here. Try to make it as simple as possible, but really just wanted to hang out a little bit and listen to some tracks from the YouTube library. I've assembled many tracks. I don't know exactly how many are on this list. Let's take a look if I can bring it up here. It looks like there's 32 songs. Now we're not going to listen to all of them in full length, but I thought it would be a nice opportunity to listen to a few tracks. I'll mention why I like them, and I can watch what you guys say in the chat to see what you think of it. And I've categorized these into a nice 80s style. Now the 80s kind of easily could go into 90s, early 70s. It could be a broad range, but those of you that are hanging out, thanks for joining me. It's live, so there's going to be a little awkward randomness, I'm sure. Always learning as I get some of this software set up. So we're just going to get right into it and start playing some tracks. So I just want to make sure that my audio is coming through and I can read everyone's comments. Make a quick adjustment here. Trying to get everything so I can read it. All right. So first off, we're going to get right into it. Thanks again, Bad Karma, Not Alone. Thanks, guys, for hanging out. Hopefully some other people will join in when they get done doing whatever they're doing. It's 1 o'clock. I started this at 10, so just to give you a little idea, I get a little carried away, and I'm like, I'm going to do this by 11, and then 11 came and went, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to figure this out and get it all set up by 12. And anyways, so for everyone else joining the replay, thanks for watching. Now, let's get into it. So first on our list is 8-Bit Dream. Let's take a listen here. And I'll be like a little bit of a radio DJ. Not bad. I'm going to turn it down a little bit so I can talk. And the reason I'll have to go back, because I know in my mind when I was saving these, this seemed like a cool background track. I'll just turn it down. You can kind of get an idea of what it would sound like as a background track. Hey Kirk, thanks for joining. All these songs are going to be available in the YouTube library, and there might be some little tweaks here and there as far as getting the levels exactly right, but mostly just want to hear to make sure that I'm getting an idea of the actual song here. But this is pretty much the whole song. It kind of goes through, and what I usually do when I'm listening to these tracks, I'll go in. Let me turn it up a little bit for you. I'll go in and I'll usually jump to like the 75% mark. Just hear how it goes, little build. So I think this is a really good song just for that cool background music, you know, like it's just like chilling back here like that, right? Driving down the road or something like that. All right, let's get on to the next one. What do we got? This is 8-year anniversary. Diamond Ortiz, he's got some, I don't know, he or she, they have some amazing music. I noticed that a lot of their tracks I end up getting. Let's take a listen. And this is where I said it's like late 70s, early 80s. Some of these, I don't want to, I'll get into them. But this one just kind of, it's that kind of that cool jazz, like jazzy-ish. I don't know what you'd call that, smooth jazz? I call it that. Let's jump ahead like I like to do. So it's going to be pretty much that through the whole song. And it's not too bad. That's another cool jam, 80th anniversary. And all the video, or all the audio sources, you'll see it up there on the screen. So hopefully you can write those down if you like anything. And the reason I'm doing this, let me turn it down here a little bit. The reason I'm doing this is because I've come across so many cool tracks, and I feel like a lot of people don't talk about them. And I know music is a major preference, but I'll spend hours looking for music, and with the YouTube library, I use that a lot, because every once in a while there's some gems in there, and I'm like, hey, it's free. It's a free opportunity to use it. So I think in my headphones it's a little louder than what you guys are hearing it. So I'm going to do a quick test just to hear. I'm going to pause it for a moment just to see what you all are hearing it out there, okay? So let's take a listen. Okay. There we go. I had to listen to that. I've been turning it down a little too low. See, it's all about trial and error. So the tracks can be a little bit louder. You can still hear me pretty well, which is cool. So that's good. I can keep talking. And you can let me know in the chat if there's something you want to listen to again or you want me to go back. So, all right, here we are. And this is the 8th anniversary. Now let's get into the next one. I think this one's really good. It's called A Stranger Thing. It's Bruno E. Let me turn it up for you. And this is usually, you get an idea of it. Now we're going to jump ahead a little bit. And I'll turn it down just a little bit. So you can kind of hear, and I'll skip through a song. I know you guys probably have your own style of doing this. I'll jump through and I'll listen for any major differences or breaks. And that one I think is pretty good. That has like a Stranger Things kind of vibe to it. I think that's more of an ideal backing track. And for the actual edit, I'm gonna let this play while I'm talking. For the actual edit, I like to just use parts of songs. I don't usually lay down the entire track, mostly because the song gets old pretty quick. And a lot of the royalty-free stuff on YouTube isn't the greatest. Let's just put it there. But I thought that was a pretty good find. Bruno E. And he's got some other good stuff. All right, let's go to the next one. And this is sort of that, like, I'm imagining like Miami Vice, late night, cops on the beat. Jump ahead here. And like I said, this is late 80s, early 70s type of like, right? Don't you think? Yeah, Autumn. Yeah, it's so weird that YouTube doesn't have Electrica. I try to find Electrica music, don't really find it too often. But I found a couple tracks. That'll be in another video, and I think those are gonna probably be edited, get through the songs a little quicker. But this is just our chance just to hang out and listen to some music. Alright, always got to check that audio. Sounds good. I think that's a pretty good mix right there. So you can hear me a little bit and hear the song. And you can let me know if it's too loud. Let's move on. And you can hear how this one kind of takes a little bit of a turn. Right around, this is about the 75% mark. Let's hear how it winds down. Pretty much the same song all the way through. Alright, let's go on next. Care About You by Destiny's Time. Okay, it's heading somewhere. It's heading somewhere. Here we go. This one has a little bit of a cool breakdown right around here. But it's pretty much the same song through the whole thing. That's what I look for, that right there. That to me is the main element of these songs. I love when they have a little breakdown like that. Listen to it drop. Right around the 75% mark. See, those types of options give you, those breaks in the music give you options for editing. And you can kind of mix and match that and have that drop happen in different places. You can have the music just cut off at a moment, say a line, bring it right back there, and then towards the end of the song, right? Let's hear how it ends. Kind of repetitious. Moving on. Here we go. Church of Eight Wheels, Otis McDonald. Otis has a lot of good music on there as well, I've noticed. At least for this genre. And like I said, late 70s. So it sounds like that song's pretty much all the way through the same song, which isn't too bad, but it's a nice little option. Yeah, I've listened to all of these. I've organized them hours. What was happening was I started realizing I would come across this song and I'm like, oh, I'll play this so I'll chit chat as this is playing. But I'll hear these songs and I'm like, this is good, but not for what I need it for. And then I would never find it again. And so I started saving them and then ended up building this little library here. And I thought I'd share it with you guys just to save you some time. So this is 80s vibe genre. So let's hear what else we got. Let's move on. Hey Yellow Cursor, thanks for joining. Little random late night jam session live stream. All these songs are available in the YouTube library. Okay, this one has a cool, listen to this little in a small dose, this would be pretty fun. Let's jump ahead. Alright, you get the idea. And like I said, some of these songs, they're better just to play them in short doses, so because they're very repetitious. But I think it has a cool sound, just to couple little moments where it changes a little bit. Moving on. And I'll probably start going through these a little quicker just because the stream, I don't want it to go too long, but I don't want it to take longer to listen to all this than it is to... Yeah, that's right, Kurt. Put on my 80s vest just for this. So all these songs I picked for a reason. I just don't know exactly which one this one is for. And like I said, I usually jump when you hear me clicking through, I'm jumping to about the 75% mark. That's usually the nice sweet spot for a little bit of a change up in the song. It's like that last third. Last third. I think this one, it has an interesting ending. This is the last 30 seconds. Bad. We made it this far. Let's hear how it ends. Oh, it just fades out. Okay, let's see what's next. Diamond Ortiz again. Here we go. Cubic Z. Yeah, this would be good. This would be good for a montage. Nice 80s style montage. And we'll jump ahead here. There's the breakdown. Nope, doesn't change much. Alright, there we go. So now we know. Hey Tanner, thanks for stopping in. We're just listening to some 80s music available in the YouTube library. A little collection I've created because I haven't had too many videos where I've needed this music, but I heard it and I'm like, these songs aren't bad. I think a lot of them, almost every one of them in this genre I've listened to, and I'm like, this would be a cool montage for like a photog YouTuber. Here we go. What's next? Cypher, Wayne Jones. Let's take a listen. I think I've used this song before. Oh, Docs, cool. All right, where's this going? Anywhere? We're about 30 seconds in. I'm gonna jump ahead. I can't wait. Okay, so I picked all these songs for a reason. This one's more of a low-key, just like a little bit pensive, like suspenseful 80s. Geographer is another artist. Really good music on there. This is questionably 80s. I put it in this category because I didn't know where it really fit. I like these breakdown parts, like right here. I think this sounds really good. Because I think right now, like you can hear it, I think it sounds pretty good for like a behind the vocals if somebody's going to talk or there's going to be narration. I think it sounds pretty good there. Let's hear how the last section ends. It's building. Same. And let's take a listen to how it ends. It just ends. All right, that's not too bad. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, I've been really okay. Mr. Adrian, yeah. These are songs. I try to get songs that sound as good as you can get royalty free without having to spend money. This is all from the library. So let's take a listen to the next one. Yeah, Kevin MacLeod. I say MacLeod. Do you guys say? Is it said a different way? MacLeod. I say MacLeod. Like, but I thought the reason I picked this song, I think that very opening section is like a great transition song. You'd probably only use like 5 or 6 seconds of it. Let's take a listen to just the beginning. Like if you were gonna cut and be like, you'd be like, all right, guys, let's see if the projects. Let's see. What could you say? Let's get the project started. Montage, right? All right, let's. Not bad. Moving on. I actually have used this track before. I think it's like a nice like 80s style rock. And typically like just the opening of that, I think, is the main thing. And it's pretty much that through the whole song. So let's go on, but not bad if you're looking for a little rock thing. I think, again, like just that opening and where it's just like that nice transitional sound, like, all right, boys, let's get this party started. All right, here's another one. What do we got? This was more of a low-key type of a track. I thought it was pretty good just for like a nice little, I mean, it's not necessarily horror movie type things, but it's just like a little suspenseful. Just playing in the background there. Let's see how it goes, where it goes from here. I like that right there. This would be more for a film, I think. This wouldn't be so much useful, I think, for a YouTube video as much as like a short film where it's just like, that's it. Not bad. Not bad at all. All right, let's see what we got next. Diamond Ortiz. Hey, Yellow Cursor, thanks for the question as we're listening to this jam. It depends, like most of the storyboarding, because I'm creating videos for YouTube specifically, it's a pretty fast turnaround. It's mostly, I would say, very small amount of storyboarding. A lot of the storyboarding, I guess, would be with the camera. We just go out and say, here, stand here, let's see what this looks like, and we'll film it. And it's like, that looked pretty good. You want to use it? Yep. Okay, and then we move on. So it's not as much as the old school writing. If I'm gonna do a short skit, I'll do a list. I'll probably spend about 15 or 20 minutes and just kind of list out a bullet point storyboard and maybe a couple little sketches just for some camera movements if I'm not operating. Yellow Cursor, do you create films yourself? This one, I don't totally love that high-pitched noise. I liked some of those breakdowns. I thought that was cool. All right, let's move on. I have used this song on a couple times. I like it. I like that, exactly that opening. Now let's jump ahead. I don't really like this part very much at all. And that's pretty much it. So that's where I'll listen to that. I'll use that song, just that opening. I think it's a nice little 20-second montage sound to it. Just wanted to listen back just to make sure everything's going good. So far, so good, right, guys? All right. This is where it kind of reminds me of like Snoop Dogg. This is like early 90s, late 80s. Warren G. I'm gonna jump ahead here. See where it goes. That's pretty much all. Not bad. It's a nice little smooth jam. Hey, not alone, no problem, man. Thanks for hanging out. This one's good. I like this one. Listen, it's there it is. All right. Yeah, Adrian, I'll check that out. Cursed Films. Okay, I'll check that out. So this song right here, I turned it down a little bit. This one I think is worth getting because it's got some nice variations in it. I just don't know what I'd use it for. But I'm gonna go back here. Right here. This is my favorite part. Yeah, I'm trying to wear my 80s stripes here. Let's listen to the end of this song. And so, not that it really matters, but something that I found that's helpful when I'm listening through these tracks, I'll listen to the first 30 seconds. I'm like, okay, I'll jump about a quarter of the way in, third, and then usually around that, I say 75%, like almost over, you'll hear the song kind of do something different if it's going to. And then I'll listen for the outro. Sometimes some songs have some cool intros and outros, but the song itself isn't that great to use. And that's enough because that's like an intro into the little segment and then an outro out of the segment. And before you know it, you only need like 15 seconds. But something else I wanted to mention as you're looking at these, the reason I have this labeled like this, something I started doing just to make sure I give everyone credit, even though it's royalty free and you don't have to give attribution. When I download these files, it saves it as the song title, but I always copy and paste the artist's name. And so that's what you see in this song title here. You'll see The Lights Out, Jimmy Fontanez, Doug Maxwell, YT. That means I got it from the YouTube library. So that's just my naming structure when I do it, and I copy and paste that. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, Gavin, thanks for stopping in. Check out the music. It's some good stuff. Hopefully this will help save some time. I think some of these, you'll see some names that are repeating. Doug Maxwell, Otis McDonald. These guys come up a lot. Got a little loud there, didn't it? This one I like just for that opening. The opening was the main part. And that's part is towards the end. Pretty good, not bad. All right, let's see what else is up. Yeah, that's the light that I was sharing in some of the TikTok videos. So this song, I think, has a lot of cool breakdown moments. Right here, it kind of changes a little bit. Let's go a little bit further. And with all things, music is a preference, so hopefully these songs, if you can get into any of them. Otherwise, it's like, ooh, enough's enough already, right? Let's move on. And this one was hard to categorize. I just threw it in the 80s because it kind of had like a simple vibe to it. Let's see what happens a little bit further towards the end. See, that's that ending part. That sounded kind of cool, didn't it? There we go. All right. Let's see where this one's going. This was the part I like. This is the last third of it. I think this is pretty good. That's pretty good. Just simple. Has some extra sounds kind of swirling in there. It's like a whole different song. Do you see that? It's very easy. Like, this is how it starts. I don't like that necessarily. Where this is cool. This part's cool. Let's hear how it ends. It kind of has that ending. If you've ever watched Revenge of the Nerds, I always think of that violin guy. Dun, dun. What's next? I just want to make sure I didn't skip one. I did. My bad. All right, this is gonna be a little bit more rock and roll. Not too bad. So, if you need a rock and roll song, that one's not too bad. And I have used this one, this opening especially. But as you can hear, it gets a little repetitive. So let's jump ahead, because it's going to get good again right around here. See that? Yeah, is this 80s music? It did fit the other categories. I have 4 more folders full of music, and those videos will be pretty good. I've been jamming for about 30 minutes or so, and then we're back at it. So that little breakdown makes that song worth getting, because it's got 2 sections, 1 song, 2 sections. So you have that, and then you have that. But it's funny because you probably experienced this. I've used this song before, so I instantly remember, like, oh yeah. All right, so that's a little bit more of the plucking, a little bit more of the late 70s, early 80s. Had to get them all there because I don't really have any selection for 70s, so it's the 70s, 80s. I think this is a good jam though. This is just like, I always think like 15 seconds, 10 seconds. These songs are not really meant to be played in its entirety unless you got some amazing video to underlay it. Hey Wedge Garage, thanks for stopping in. Yep, I thought this would be a little bit easier just setting this up like this. I'm going to have some edited versions. I have like a bunch of other folders, but I started to accumulate a lot of songs that I liked, and I thought I don't have a necessary use for this video that I'm working on, but I don't want to lose it, so I'll download it and save it. And if you're just joining in, I mentioned the way I save these. I always save the song title. The song itself gets downloaded. What's this? This has a nice, almost like a Stranger Things 80s vibe to it as well. More optimistic. I would use optimistic. Like enlightenment, right? Like the kids just discovered where the treasure is and they're on their way home now. Just riding bikes. All right, let me jump ahead. I'm gonna jump ahead. And that's one of the reasons about the 75% mark. I notice has usually a little bit of a different riff to it, and that gives you 2 different songs. This one I think has like 3 different segments you could use. Would make it sound like 3 different tracks if you use them in very small doses, but it would also give it the same feeling like the whole video is all together like one video. Kind of a cool way to use it. Let's hear how it ends. Not bad. Here we go, last 20 seconds. Not bad. Yeah, Jeremy Blake's another one. He's got a lot of good tracks. I like that one a lot. Very useful. I like that sound. It's like pushing. You can hear it kind of morph. I like that track, but I would only use it probably for about 10 seconds at the most. All right, what's next? Sounds familiar, doesn't it? This is another one of the Warren G style Snoop Dogg classic. Alright, Mr. Adrian, thanks for stopping in, hanging out. This is going to be available for replay, so you can always come back and check it out. I'll check out that Cursed Film trailer. See how it goes. Thanks for hanging out. I like this one because it has a lot of different textures in it. I don't know if you can hear that. There's like a lot of stuff going on. And I'm not like a music file or anything like, but I know listening to soundtracks, this one's got some nice layering. Let's jump ahead. See, I don't know if you guys have ever experienced this. Some of these songs, this would be one of them. I feel like the artist uploads one that they just messed up and they just didn't feel like fixing, because the drum beat sounded off there. It was like dun 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 dun. I wonder sometimes where these songs come from, but that one's not too bad. I mean, in short doses. I like that it changes it up right towards the end, and then we end up going to the end there. All right, we only have 3 more songs coming up, so maybe we'll listen to these. And these aren't in any specific order. I'm just I think they're alphabetized, so they're just in alphabetic order. This is a good one. I've used this one before. This is really good. Here we go. You ready for this? It comes out of nowhere. It's like... Oh, it doesn't... I was a little early. It comes up. Here we go. Yeah, that's good stuff right there. That one's worth saving. I mean, I like that style. I usually type words. Yeah, that would be an interesting thing to try to look up, because sometimes I get really like, I get kind of desperate and I'll just type things like energy, forward. Sometimes I'll just literally write the word of what I'm trying to show in the video. So if it's like building, there's a whole genre of music that I feel like they could easily just categorize like background tracks. Wouldn't that be awesome if YouTube offered that? Background tracks that are just like 15-minute segments of just very low key, no horns and saxophones, just a nice, calm like vibe, right? I think that would be an amazing thing if they offered that. That way I could just go in and YouTubers could just log in and just pick exactly that style, because there's so many times I just want a nice little background. I don't need these big like extreme segments. I have this turned down, but did you hear that, how that stopped? And now we're kind of into a different feeling. Of course, 75% mark. But yeah, I usually, what I found was there, and it's been a while since I was looking at it, but there's an actual, turn this down a little bit. I noticed that, I think it's like funky fun, or I don't know what, there's like a keyword phrase that seems to be more of the music that I enjoy, or like for the types of videos I'm doing. I'm doing a lot of high-end, high energy. High-end? Questionable. All right, we're down to the last 2. Let's see how these go. Yeah, 80's workout. Are you kidding me? Totally. 1, 2, work it out. Come on, let's go. Oh, I forgot my shades. These are original. 89. I got them specifically for the fluorescent. Can't see anything. Let me turn this down a little bit. And you know what? There's a couple things I think about. I'm going to turn this down a little bit and just chat for a sec. I know YouTube probably isn't their priority in giving away free music. Like, here it is, deal with it. But like, wouldn't it be awesome if you could save within the library, save it into your own subfolder, and then even more than that, if you could actually share it out, like what I'm doing here, except you just say, would you like to share this? Boom, add it to Twitter. I don't know. I know a lot of people I know that they kind of keep the good songs quiet because they want it to be like a little bit more original. I mean, unless everybody in your genre of YouTube is using the same tracks, then it can get a little old. But that's where you use little bits and pieces. If you don't run the whole song, there's a lot of really unique ways. I've had songs where I'll cut the very opening, one little moment where the beat drops, a couple little segments of on-screen talking, and just run it real quiet, and then end it. It's like a 10-second little clip Sounds like one song, but it's just a chopped up thing here. All right. And this is the last song on our list in alphabetic order. I guess I'll just let this one run out and we'll just have it go into it naturally. Let me turn it up and see what we got. Yeah, thanks, Lewis. Yeah, and you know what? It's a bummer that I can't just share this out, you know? But I wasn't really paying attention. Let me turn it back up for you guys to listen to. Sounds like it's going to go somewhere. Let's see if it does. I'm going to jump ahead. All right, let's listen to how this song ends. All right, well, there it is. So that's the playlist. Thanks for hanging out and listening to a little bit of it. I was mentioning earlier, I wasn't paying attention to say, this is my absolute favorite. I'd have to go back and click through them. But pretty much it just depends on the type of music that you're looking for your video. I really look for songs that have variable, I don't know what you'd call melodies or whatever, just segments within the song that sort of have the same feeling of the song, but it sounds like a whole different song. Because if you use a track like that, then you can kind of implement it in different parts of your video, and it gives it like it's a nice little solid package of this vibe through the whole song or through the whole video. But it's different, but the same. Does that make sense? These are all very intense. I'm going to try to find one. I think it's probably Diamond Ortiz. He has some good stuff. Just not that one. Let's see. Geographer. Well, anyways, you can go back and watch the playback if you're just joining in now in this live stream. If you have any questions, be sure to ask them now. It's got a little bit of a 10-second delay. Hey, welcome, Tommy from Texas. Liz, Kieran, Melvie, Wedge Garage. Hey, thanks for hanging out a little bit later. About wrapping it up now. A little bit, like I said, I have like 4 other folders that I want to share, and I don't know if this might be the way to do it. Just do it like this. You get to still hear the song, because I'm pretty much going to do the same thing. The only thing that I might bring up on screen so you can see what I'm doing is you can see where I'm jumping in the song, because I think it's hard to listen to and all of a sudden it just stops and jumps ahead. But what I'm doing is listening to different parts of the song just to, you know, try to move through it. But that wasn't too bad. We're hanging out for about an hour now. This would have taken probably a good hour to listen to this many tracks, but you would have not have probably found all these tracks together like this. So I think in this video what I'll try to do, it's harder than it sounds, but I might try to list out all the songs. Actually, I'm wondering, let me see if I can do it here. I don't think I can because there's so many. I was going to say I could just show a screenshot, but don't think that's going to work. Alright, that's blasting in my ears. Hopefully those levels were pretty good. I'm going to listen to this back afterwards just to see if this is the best way to do this. I'm just kind of eyeballing everything in, adjusting it on the fly, just trying to make sure I get my audio right with the levels of the music. To be specifically a DJ. Video DJ. There's no video. That song this isn't a good background song, don't you think? This is my smooth. Alright, well, this is the wind down song. Alright, I think that's everything. Thanks for hanging out. VIP crew. I'm trying to see, I know Bad Karma. I don't know if he's still hanging out. He was one of the first in here. He was ready. But thanks everyone for hanging out a little bit, listening to some jams. And if you have any songs that you like, if you want, you could, I guess, leave it in the chat. Just the name of the song, and I'll check it out. I know it's kind of tricky because a lot depends on the actual type of video you're trying to make, but I mentioned what I usually look for, even if it's not this genre of a specific era or anything like that. If it's just a song that has it goes somewhere. The songs that don't go anywhere are great for like background tracks of short little segments, but yeah. Anyways, there probably end up, I know every couple months I'm like, okay, what am I doing? I just got to sign up for one of these royalty-free track places and just pay and get really high quality tracks. It is kind of fun. I think I like the adventure of just going and trying to search down, hey, whoa, not alone, that's crazy, man, thanks so much, holy smokes. I appreciate that. Thanks for hanging out. I know you're always popping up on any live streams or any other online stuff. I think those of you that don't already know, most of the videos I've been messing around with and hanging out with, believe it or not, is over on TikTok tutorials. But just trying to, I share some stuff, and a lot of it's just kind of working out some creative ideas and stuff. I just think it's a super cool app. It reminds me of the old days with Justin Johnson's film fights, because you'll see a meme, a TikTok meme going through, and it's like, oh, I wonder how I could recreate that in my own way. And it gives you some limitations, but then you can get creative, and it's pretty fast turnaround. I'm not really ready to listen to this jam here. Let's go to the next one. And the tracks are pretty low actually right now. You're barely probably hearing them probably, but hey, not alone. Thanks for the ka-ching. I need a cool sound effect for that, but I think that's all for now. I'm gonna close it up. I guess I'll just have it a solid hour. So if there's any questions or anything you want to share, leave it in the comments. I should have probably highlighted and said this is my favorite one. Have the song leave on the outro. Let's see what this one is. I think this one's the most fun. What was that one song? Do you guys remember which one it was that was like the kids riding bikes, kind of a vibe to it? Wasn't that? Too intense. Anyways, all right, we're getting to the last final minutes here. There's just some cool songs. I know sometimes hey Louis, yeah, thanks. Yeah, what I find myself doing, and it's actually better to do it this way, I think. When I don't have to find a soundtrack, I'm like, you know what, I'm bored. Instead of listening to like Spotify or Pandora or some kind of online streaming service, I'm like, I'm gonna go into the library and just listen to some songs. And unfortunately, it's not as cool. Like if you do that on like some of the legit royalty-free sites, you can find some really good songs. In the YouTube library, you kind of have to click around. You kind of have to be proactive. You can't just let it set and just let it play through, because some of the songs, it's just intense. They just keep going. It's like the same beat over and over and over again. It's like, whoa. Oh yeah, Wild Stallions, Kirk. Yeah, for sure, man. I'm trying to think what kind of music that would have been in that they would have done back. It's been a while since I've seen that movie, but I got some rock and roll in here. It wasn't this. This is more like that country fair rock and roll. Hey, Small Creators promo. Thanks for hanging out. I was trying to find. There was this jam. There was this jam that was like, it reminded me of like Goonies style adventure, just the ending of it though. I wonder if it's called, this is kind of pensive, you can probably barely hear this. Let's see what this is. Wild Stallions. We don't got any Wild Stallions, but we got some Wild Pogo. All right, last minute. Thanks again for hanging out. It's late for me. Maybe it's early for you. I don't know what y'all where you're coming in at exactly on the time zones, but I'll do what I usually do, and probably I'm going to close it out with a little bit of a countdown just so we know when it's going to be over. Thanks again for hanging out, listening to some jams. I have, like I said, 4 other folders. Look for me in the meantime on TikTok, over on Instagram, Free Time Filmmaker, still there. Knobtop is my other Instagram handle, and Knobtop over at TikTok. But just burned that into the video, so I don't know how long I'll be on TikTok. Depending on when you're watching this, I might not even be using the app anymore. It might have already worked its course, but either way, look for the links in the description or search it out for yourself. But all right, that's all for now. Knobtop, go make something.